God bless you, social media. I was kind of thinking yesterday, and in some conversations with certain people, and then I'm a deep thinker. I study all the time. There's a thing that we used to say about 20 years ago. This thing called a blackball. This thing to where someone negates your influence or puts some badge of dishonor over you, and that person in essence closes some doors for you. And all of that was quite scary when we lived in the age of the middleman. We lived in the age of making it off some big platform. There's one platform, and we got to make it that place. So when you got gatekeepers at this platform, that was such a intimidating thing, because if you had formidable opposition for your rise on this platform from the gatekeepers, you never entered the platform. There's a pastor, a bishop in Memphis, Tennessee, and he said, his name is Bishop Brandon B. Porter. He said that the difference between good and great is exposure. And so a lot of people in their own lines of craft, not just ministry, whatever you are, you're seen as being good at what you do because you got limited exposure. You don't get the moniker great because enough people aren't seeing you. And there are so many unsung talents all across the confines of the U.S. and all over the world, but they're waiting on someone somewhere to give them this big platform. And once they hit the big platform, they feel that they've arrived. So it is an intimidating thought when you're living by that mindset, which I think is quite antiquated right now. But when you're living by that mindset, if there's one huge platform and you have a major gatekeeper, a major strategic passageway that wants to block you, folks, but that's when we're thinking small. I mean, that's when our box is so much smaller than what the box really is. The United States now, I think, is somewhere in the number of 360 plus million people, 330 to over 330 million people. I'll go conservative. That's a lot of folks. Over 7+ billion people in the world, and there's a day coming in the not too so distant future, barring anarchy and calamity, where we're marching towards a world of 10 billion people. Folks, why would you make your everything that you do be based on a gatekeeper on a small box? If they blocked you, if they blackball you, folks, you just find another box. This world is too big. Technology is too great. Technology is connecting us from here to Guam. So you're going to the bridge over 10 folks that said that they're going to block you locally. And many times you're too focused on their local, and that hinders your global. Folks, there's someone across the world that's waiting to hear from you. There's someone right across the city that, even though you've been living there for 50 years, they know nothing about you. So folks, look, it's a season where we have to start learning how to build our own platforms. You don't have to keep knocking. If they won't let you play in their ballpark, then you just find you another ballpark. Folks, don't be concentrating on this small box, because if you're concentrating on the small box, there may be people controlling that small box. But in the age of technology, I think there's a project, something that my wife looked up, and she reached the CEO's office. We got this thing called the Google machine. You can Google anybody. You can almost touch anybody. And within minutes, with a tad bit of good internet research, you can find an email, you can find a LinkedIn profile, you can find almost everybody on some form of social media. They have the thing direct messages. You may get right to them, or you look at who they're following and you know them, ask them for an introduction. Folks, we're in a whole different world. Then in social media, they have the power of groups. I posted something in defense of Penny Hardaway last week, and it's all over the world. People all day are coming talking to me about that, just in a small Memphis Tigers basketball group. Folks, your mind and this old thing about who's blocking you, who's stopping you, who's blackballing you, you may have blackballed me, but I'm not falling because my box is too big a box. Folks, yes, if they're controlling the playing field on a small box, you find you another playing field. Folks, look, I learned a long time ago. I've worked in the car business for years, and I was used to, even though I was a great prospector in the car business, I did find that sometimes in the car business, when you're in a retail institution where people come to you, that sometimes that spoils you. I found out that the greats in sales, even though I was a great telephone prospector, I didn't have any problem banging out calls here and those. But I found out that those people that learn how to hunt, and you can hunt via telephone. Of course, that was before the do not call list, so please be careful with that one. Or you can go out and nothing's to stop you from knocking on somebody's door, introduction by somebody else. Folks, you don't have to be limited by some gatekeeper wanting to keep you out. The gate around the box the box that contains the platform that you want is so small and so insignificant in a world of 7+ billion people that you can't allow their wanting to block you to stop you. Folks, look, you got to learn how to hunt. You got to sniff it out. Someone out there is willing to help you. I mean, everybody's not going to say no. Everybody's not going to get. Some of them, if you find out what they want, or you come to the position, not like you're blessing their life, but what can I do to help you? You'd be surprised. Folks, somebody that you least suspect, the maid at your business, that wipes the floors, may know the person that can turn your life around. So be relational. Tell people about your dream. Folks, look, there's no reason for you to take your dream to the grave. The late Dr. Miles Monroe said that the richest place in the world is the cemetery because it contains so many buried dreams, so many dashed hopes, and so many I woulda, I coulda, I shouldas. So it's the richest place in the world. Folks, look, there's no reason to take your dreams to the grave. There's no reason for you to die with greatness within. My thing that I'm telling you is reach out. Reach out past the box. Reach out past the blackball. Reach out past them not selecting you. And then, it's an old Bible principle. If they didn't select you one time, I had a lady that wanted, and she passed away about a year ago, and she came and sat in my lobby every day because she had retired from the state. I didn't think she was in the best of health. I knew what challenges are presented in my particular place where I run, and I just tried to discourage her. I would discourage her on Monday, and I come in at lunch. She said, "Have you changed your mind?" I leave again. She come back again. She came so much and so affected my peace of mind and the person hiring above me again that we just all gave in and hired her because we either wanted the cause to stop and we wanted our peace of mind. Folks, if you're relentless like that, and you know that you're in a bigger box than what these folks trying to block you out, no one can stop you. No one can block you. Be blessed.